Okay, so we are going to do the skies this month, and this was created by Richard Corbett, but Richard isn't feeling up to doing this, and we hope that he feels better soon. And you could close your eyes and just pretend that it is him doing this, but then you won't see the slide. So I'm afraid you're stuck looking at me here. So this is the sky from April 14th to May 12th, 2023. And this shot here of the aurora was taken by Richard circa 2006. Sorry, it was taken by a photographer that he knew up there, looking across Chewater Lake in the direction of Lewes Dam, which regulates the river flow and provides hydroelectricity to the Yukon grid. So that was his desktop wallpaper for years when he was working up there. Okay, so what is going on up there? Mercury is past its easternmost elongation in the west after sunset, and it's beginning to move towards the other end, towards the sun, and is disappearing by the 21st. It may be possible to see a 24-hour old new moon just below Mercury at about 2100 on April 20th. This is one day after the it says annual total solar eclipse. It's an annular eclipse, which means there's a little bit of sun viewed around it because the moon is further out and not able to completely cover the sun.
It's both.
Yeah. And this will be visible the day before along the northwest coast of Australia. Venus continues to rise in the west all spring. We'll see that in a moment. Its position on the slope of the ecliptic and its eastward motion appear to make it rise straight up night by night. The April Lyrid meteor shower will peak the night of April 23rd with a radiant visible in the northeast after 10 o'clock, 2200 hours. And the moon will be a slim crescent in the west between Venus and Mars, and that will definitely make it easier to see these meteors. Finally, Saturn begins to be visible in the east-southeast before sunrise in May as Earth rounds the sun in its way to the summer solstice. So let's have a look. So here we have Mercury down close to the horizon and Venus up between that triangular group of stars. There is the Hyades cluster, which is the head of Taurus the Bull, and you see the Pleiades off to the right of Venus. Venus frequently is found in that part of the sky, occasionally goes right through the Pleiades. This is Mercury past its easternmost elongation in the west after sunset. It's going to start moving down towards the sun. We're going to show you that. But before I show you that, I'm going to show you that, if you've got your telescope out, is the phase that Venus is going to be displaying at that time. And that was the 14th of April, which is upon us, and that is what Mercury's phase is. Now, when you're looking at Venus, you're looking through about 2.3 air masses. That means if you look straight up overhead, you're looking through one air mass, one width of the atmosphere. For Venus, you're going to be looking through 2.3, so that makes it just a little bit more murky to see. And because Mercury is quite low on the horizon, you're looking through almost 6.5 air masses. So if you're looking at it with binoculars, you may see a shape, but it's going to be difficult to see this crescent shape. You're going to need a telescope for that. And please, if you're going to be looking at these things, make sure the sun is below the horizon or behind an obstacle, which blocks it entirely, so you don't take any chances with your telescope. So here we're moving ahead. We're now on the 17th. You can see that Venus is climbing, and Mercury, which was above that green line, that 10-degree line, is now dropping down towards the horizon. And here we go to the 20th. You can see Mercury has descended a little bit further. You can see the new moon there. I'll show you what that should look like in a moment. And Venus is up there where it was before. It may be possible to see a 24-hour old new moon below Mercury at 2100. This is like a really new moon, so it's going to be a challenge. So that, if you zoom in with stellarium, that's basically you're just getting the moon with the reflected light from the Earth there, basically. You can also see that Uranus is up there, but you're going to have to wait for it to get a little darker to see that. Now, Venus continues to rise in the west all spring. Its position on the slope of the ecliptic, and its eastward motion make it appear to be climbing up. So this is the sky. And again, you can see Mercury's way down there. You can see Venus is gradually climbing up like that. And you can see Mars up there that's a little higher up. Now, the April Lyrid meteors will peak on the night of April 23rd with the radiant visible in the northeast. There you've got, you're looking northeast, you can see the radiant. Their radiant is where they appear to be coming from and radiating out across the sky. It's basically the direction the Earth is heading in its orbit, directly into the stream of debris that is causing these meteors. That bright star that you see to the left there, it's called a Lyrid shower because it's in the constellation Lyra. That's Vega, one of the brightest stars. And so we also have Saturn becoming visible in the east-southeast before sunrise in May as Earth rounds the sun on its way to the summer solstice. So if we look at the sky, you can see that there's an Aquarid, an Eta Aquarid meteor shower happening, and this is an Aquarius, hence the name. There's Saturn, low in the sky. Basically, I added a slide here just to give you a better idea of exactly where it is in relation to the constellation. We'll just put the constellation lines in there. So it's down around the water carrier's knee there, basically, between the legs. And you can see the Aquarid radiant is right up there. That's not a really active meteor shower, but it produces some really bright ones. If you do look at Saturn on that particular night and zoom in, this is what you're going to see. It's got Titan way over up there on the right. Most of the visible moons are going to be on the right side. You've got Tethys and Mimas, if you got a good big telescope, they're over on the left. And Iapetus is way down here on the bottom. And so just one more time, these are those pictures that Richard took back in 2001 using his Kodachrome and an SLR in his backyard. Pretty amazing, huh?
Oh.
And later at night, it was turning to greens and oranges. So that's it. Thank you very much. And thank you, Richard, for putting that together. And hopefully we'll hear Richard doing that next time.